So I've been searching for a newborn bonnet, but whichever I find, it's either too big or it's made for the winter with the fluffy fabric. So I'm gonna try to make one and I'm gonna take you through the process. So let's do it. Initially, I thought of using this shirt, my silk shirt that is a bit old, as the outside, and then maybe use this as the inside. I might still do this, but I found this fabric that I used for one of my old projects, and I think it would work and I have enough, so I'm gonna try to use this as the first sample and let's see how it comes out. So the supplies you need is your fabric. I'm hoping this is soft enough, and a 1/4 inch elastic. The fabric is big and I don't want to waste this, so I'm first cutting a strip. We are looking to cut a circle, so we're going to fold the fabric into 4 layers, and then using the measurements that I cooked up, we're going to cut the circumference of the bonnet. I'm using 7 inches for the circumference. Honestly, I don't know how I came up with it, but I think it's going to work, so we'll see. So I finished cutting the first piece and I'm still doubting whether I got the measurements right. So I decided to ask Chad for a circle skirt calculation. I know that the formula is a waist measurement divided by 2 pi, right? But we're not doing a waist because the top there's no hole in the top. So I think I'm gonna keep this and try it and see how it comes out. I'm gonna be cutting 2 of the circles because I want the bonnet to be able to be worn inside out. It's been a long time since I used my sewing machine, so let's give it some love. I keep my thread collection in this basket, and honestly I know it's not the best, so leave me a comment on how you guys organize your threads. Here I'm just trying to find a bobbin with a thread color that matches so I don't have to roll a new bobbin. Also, if you're anything like me, you know rethreading the machine is not fun. So this is my little trick for rethreading it. I just tie the old thread to the new thread at the top and I pull it through the feeder until I get to the needle. Then I thread it through the needle. Now, let's get sewing. We're going to sew around the circle and leave a small hole for us to be able to turn it inside out. Also, you have to sew it with right sides facing together. Here, I'm just doing little snips into the seam allowance to allow it to turn very smoothly. And I am turning it inside out. This is where we reveal the insides of the fabric. It's very important to iron it and then do a top stitch. I'm going to use that same top stitch hole as my elastic hole. So I did, I think, a 1/2 inch and I left a space to put the elastic hole. Honestly, all the calculations that I'm using are eyeballing. I am doing a sample, so I don't necessarily know exactly what I'm doing, but I think I have an idea of how to achieve the end goal. And this is me just bunching it and taking notes of the measurements so that if I have to redo it, I can. And someone wants attention. Anyways, I am extra, so I had these labels that I'm adding to it for branded, G-Touch everything, period. And that's it. This is the finished product. It fits her perfectly. I'm not showing a fit-in video here, but it fits her perfectly. I do not love the fabric, so I will make more in a much softer fabric. Thanks for watching.